Hello, my name is Keith Lindsey, and this is my presentation on Zimbabwe's current economic crisis. Zimbabwe is currently undergoing an economic crisis. This crisis was brought about by numerous natural disasters and a series of unfortunate events. These events caused the Zimbabwe dollar to depreciate from 2.5 Zimbabwe dollars for $1 to 20 Zimbabwe dollars for $1. The natural disasters also caused the price of the average market basket, or the consumer price index, to increase. Furthermore, the disasters also made the GDP annual growth rate for Zimbabwe go negative. What caused the inflation to surge in Zimbabwe? Zimbabwe was pretty much struck with the worst of it in 2019. First of all, we have the Cyclone Idai, which struck in March of 2019. According to the Relief Web, Cyclone Idai was the worst cyclone that hits the continent of Africa ever recorded. This cyclone originated on the east coast of Mozambique and swept through Mozambique, Zimbabwe, and Malawi. This catastrophic cyclone caused damage to property and especially crops and animals. Furthermore, Cyclone Idai especially reduced the amount of food and crops that were harvested because of these damages. Another disaster that struck Zimbabwe was a prolonged drought. This drought hit Zimbabwe in September of 2019. This drought heavily impacted the number of crops that were harvested like Cyclone Idai. If that wasn't worse enough, according to Holly DeMary, Zimbabwe only has 100,000 tons of grain in its reserves because of the poor harvest caused by Cyclone Idai. These reserves of grain are only estimated to last Zimbabwe about a month. This caused the government to import 800,000 tons of grain in 2019, which is estimated to last them about a year. But this importation of food no doubtedly cost the government a lot of money. Do you see a common theme here? Basically, what I'm trying to get at is natural disasters destroyed the food supply so much that it caused huge inflation rise in Zimbabwe. Due to the shortage of food caused by the natural disasters and the never-ending demand for it, the price of food increased astronomically. Food prices increased by 725% due to the shortages. The price alone substantially increased the consumer price index of the market basket in Zimbabwe. According to this graph provided by Trading Economics, the consumer price index market basket went from 563 Zimbabwe dollars in January of 2020 to 2,400 Zimbabwe dollars in December of 2020. Not only was the consumer price index in Zimbabwe affected, but also the GDP annual growth rate in Zimbabwe. The GDP annual growth rate in Zimbabwe went from a 4% increase in 2018 to a negative 6.5% decrease in 2019 due to the unfortunate disasters. However, there is one area in which Zimbabwe has been able to maintain, and this is the Zimbabwe unemployment rate. The unemployment rate has been able to maintain itself throughout the previous years despite these unfortunate disasters. Okay, so now for some of my proposed solutions. So first of all, for some farmer aid, the Zimbabwe government could issue a direct relief bill in the form of a stimulus check for the farmers. This would help cut down on how much food the government needs to import, which is quite costly. This would also help the farmers get back on their feet and plant crops. Plus, if the farmers have any extra, they could put the money back into the economy and get full usage of the multiplier effect. In terms of helping to prevent another situation like this, the government could provide farmers with government insurance, much like how the U.S. provides banks with insurance to help prevent another Great Depression. Although Zimbabwe might lose some of the crops from disasters to come, the farmers could still easily and quickly replant and grow the crops to help bounce back the economy. In terms of fixing the current inflationary gap, the government could enact contractionary fiscal policies to help push aggregate demand back down to full employment. These fiscal policies include the usual decreasing of government spending or the increase of taxes. They both do the same thing. I also believe that the government could enact a price ceiling on pricing foods so that the price of food doesn't go up another 725%. In terms of dealing with the high demand but low supply of food, I believe that the government could import food at negotiated prices. The Zimbabwe government could have also always kept the national reserves of food fully stocked, even if it meant importing some food at a decently high price. This would have heavily reduced the impact of the shortage of food and reduced the high demand for food. Okay, so the conclusion, or how Zimbabwe is currently doing. So Zimbabwe is actually reducing inflation as it went from 786% in May to 737% in June of 2020. Some roadblocks that may occur are any foreign investors that might be nervous of investing in Zimbabwe because of their history with inflation. Because of the scarce investors, this will perhaps reduce the GDP and keep it at a low until faith is restored in Zimbabwe. Also, natural disasters will always be a roadblock for Zimbabwe, and we must invest in technology to help prevent this. And these are my references. Thank you.